What is going on, my beautiful people? I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up, but we are outside of the Wally World, and don't worry guys, I do have my mat. I got to get it off of my little console there. But what we are doing today is we are planning on filming a fishing challenge video. So I don't know if you guys have TikTok. I have TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I just watch it for fun. There's a challenge on there where these people do a date night where one person closes their eyes, one person says start, they begin to walk down an aisle, then someone says stop, and when they stop, they look to their right or left and they grab something. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that for a fishing challenge. Candace has actually just gotten off of work and she's now on her way over here as well, and she is gonna be my stop start participant. Probably gonna have her pick the lures because she doesn't know really much about fishing, but we are gonna go into Walmart and we are gonna start this video. Also, if you're at home and watching this, be safe because the COVID is out there. Make sure you wear your mask. Probably get some gloves. I don't have any gloves today, but I do not condone going out without a mask due to this pandemic. So just warning on that. Be safe. Candace made a valiant point. I didn't listen to her, so then we made her do it, and then we talked about it and decided again that we were going to redo this because she thought I was biased in telling her when to start and stop because I could see the lures and I know what I'm doing. And fishing, kind of debatable. She doesn't. So we're going to redo this. And I'm gonna have my eyes closed and she's gonna tell me when to start and stop. That's the face that you get when she's right. Section, but Candace, you gotta tell me when.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. We got a Bomber Model A freshwater crankbait.
Start. Stop. What is that?
This is a frog. A black and gold or black and red flake frog with a real jacked up eye. But you know, I like it, gives it some character.
Okay, start. Stop.
Some Super Fluke Junior Smoking Shad. That's a pretty tiny lure, but it's a little tiny swim bait, so we'll make that work. We got a little bit to go. You're gonna have to be fast on the trigger.
Okay, start. Stop. Ooh, that's my favorite.
And we got some 4-inch mini lizards in chartreuse pepper. So we are gonna have to go out, and Candace is giving some high hopes. All right, we have made it back into the car. Got the lures in the back. Just applied hand sanitizer, guys. Do not worry. Got the mask off. And hopefully we have stayed safe during this COVID pandemic. All right, everybody, so we are out and we are on the water now, doing some paddling. We're gonna go to our first spot. I just saw a gar bust on top water, so maybe that's what kind of fish we see jumping around a good bit. But as you guys know, we got 4 lures today that we are gonna try to catch a fish on. We got the Bomber Model A, dives about 6 to 12 foot crankbait. We got a lemon pepper lizard, which is going to absolutely slay. It's a 4-inch lizard. Have no questions that we'll catch a fish on that. We got those little bitty shad looking flukes. Pretty sure those are going to catch some fish as well. And then lastly, we got the frog. It's about 7 in the morning and we're already on the water. I'm paddling over to a spot where we've caught some fish in the past, so I'm pretty certain we'll be able to get some more there. And yeah, I'll probably start out with the frog and maybe this crank. I feel like maybe try to catch that morning bite, catch some schooling, feeding fish, and then we'll switch over to the soft plastic and see if we can't work our way through those. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to my spot and get to fishing. It ain't like I just cast it right there. Got him. He told me where he was. Dang. At least we finally got one. Quick release. I just casted there. And then turn around and he jumps. Well, we got the lemon pepper lizard done. Let's see if we can't catch something else now. I don't think they're gonna bite the frog. It's been a little late, but we'll see if we can't get one on this little bitty swim bait here. I got it on a jig head, so we'll see if we can catch one with that. Got something. No! No! He spit it! No! That was a 3-pounder. I didn't realize. No! I thought I was hung on something. That was a 3-pounder. I'm gonna keep chunking and winding until it does. Is this a fish? I don't think so. I think I'm on a stick. Yeah, I got me a big old tree fish now. Shit. Well, I lost the tree fish. Alright everybody, as you can tell, I am back. Actually in a location where you probably haven't seen before. And if you're new to the channel, it's not a spot that I've shown very often on my channel, if at all. But I'm actually out in my shed. And I've kind of got it set up now. It's taken a bit of a process to get it set up. Welcome back to the When Nature Calls logo. There's a couple stumps in the way for some wedding projects that we're working on. But it's nice to have that thing back up. Thanks again, Candace, for providing that for me. Today, you guys have seen some footage of me fishing earlier doing this COVID-19 TikTok kind of challenge. And it just came across me as I was editing the footage. You guys really never got to see a good look at the baits that I used because most of this I filmed with the GoPro as to not take this big camera out. And I actually didn't have this camera when I first started filming this. I wanted to go over those lures again for you, and we'll actually do them in order, or try to do them in order of how they were picked. We had the Bomber crankbait. As you can see, it's got a little bit of glitter on there, black and white, with a red underbelly. But yeah, so that was that first crankbait. It's supposed to dive 6 to 12 foot, and I don't think it was getting quite deep enough, even though most of the fish were pushed up shallow when I finally found them in this video. I had a couple bites throughout the day that were swings and misses, and then I missed one big one, and I know you guys saw my reaction to that. Unfortunately, you guys didn't see the fish, but let me tell you, it was at least 4 pounds. It was a good fish. I honestly think it was more than 4 pounds, but I'm gonna give it that. The second lure that we ended up getting was a frog, and it is a black frog with red flakes. As you can see in the paint job on those eyes, man, it is a little wonky. Good thing the fish look at the bottom of it. But this thing came in handy. The area I was fishing, there was a good bit of grass, and I saw fish busting in the grass, but I really think it was grass carp because they were not hitting the frog at all. And this is one of those baits where I really don't have confidence in it. I know a lot of people catch fish on frogs. I've never been lucky with catching them on frogs. I've never had a good frog bite day. Never really been a topwater guy. But, you know, frogs work. I've seen lots of people catch them on frogs and catch some good fish on frogs. Unfortunately, this one wasn't the ticket today. But what was the ticket and a little bit more of a confidence lure for me was actually this 4-inch Zoom lizard. This one was lemon pepper, which means it's kind of a chartreuse green with those pepper flakes. See if I can't get it to focus on this. There it is. So you can kind of see that color. Had an extra wide gap hook with that lizard. And I was just fishing this thing up shallow underneath cover. Kind of weightless Texas rigged it. And was pitching that to those branches, and luckily we ended up getting one to catch it, or getting one to take it fully and commit to it. I had a couple different bites, and honestly that fish that ended up taking it, I had fished the same spot for 10 minutes, went past it and saw him swirl on something and threw back to where he swirled, and he ended up hitting it. So luckily enough, that fish did bite, so we didn't go completely skunked throughout the day, even though that was about 3 hours and a GoPro battery into the fishing endeavors of today. And then lastly, what I had the most bites on and what I ended up hooking that big fish on that shook me was this little swim style bait here. It's a 4-inch shad style bait by Zoom, I believe it was. And let me get this in frame here for you guys. So that's the little lure there, and I had put it on a Ned rig. That way I could work it as a swim bait or bounce it on the bottom like a feeding bait fish. Because where I was at, they have lots of little bait fish like this. And so I knew this bait was going to be good. I honestly did not expect to hook into a fish that big. I usually don't have that much luck at this spot for big fish. I usually can catch a couple dinks like the one I did. That fish definitely was pretty big, because when I threw at a piece of structure, and I honestly thought I got hung in it. So I went to snatch it out, and when I went to snatch it out, my line took off. And that's when I realized the fight was on, and ended up with a pretty decent fish that got about 8 foot from my kayak, jumped, and when he jumped, my lure came flying out of his mouth. And I was working with that new GoPro setup. Let me know if you guys like that, where it's looking back at me, or if you want to see kind of out in front of me. I know you guys didn't see the fish. I'm hoping that in the GoPro footage you can hear the splash that fish made, because he was a dandy fish. But anyways, guys, I wanted to show you guys those lures. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Got a lot more fishing content coming. And I know that it's picking up. It's June. So we're going to get in those dog days where the fishing's not as good. And we're going to start getting ready for those deer coming up in September. And I am excited for that. So make sure you guys subscribe. Hopefully you guys can tell a bit of a quality difference between the GoPro and this new camera versus the camera I was using. And if you can tell a quality difference, make sure you go hit the like button and subscribe. That way I know that this investment was worth it. And I think it definitely is. And I'm excited to film some hunts this upcoming deer season with this camera and see how it performs. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And always remember, when nature calls, you better answer. Peace.